Hello and welcome to E-Inc. Before we introduce our guest this week, here are some of the newsmakers we've been tracking for you.
Bloomberg suspended operations in 9 cities. We spoke to Albinder Jinta, who clarified that these 9 were part of 15 pilot projects that were launched in September. Albinder said they are continuing to focus on the 17 cities they are seeing more opportunities in currently.
We have to experiment with different categories in geography. Some of them local, some of them don't.
Traction, a company that focuses on providing information on startups to over 6,000 clients globally, raised funding from Ratan Tata. In the past, it has also raised close to 4 million from Sachin and Vinny Bansal as well as their partners. And on E-Inc today, the real estate market has gone through a tough time, and online classifieds have been no exception to the rule. Dhruv Agarwala of PropTiger talks to us about the challenges and opportunities the sector faces and creating an integrated solutions platform. One of PropTiger's prominent investors is News Corp. We get talking to Dhruv about how that has also added value to the business.
Dhruv, thank you so much for joining us on E-Inc. It's been a really busy year at PropTiger. You've seen 2 acquisitions as well. How's life after acquiring Makaan and post all the hecticness associated with, of course, some of those transactions?
Abha, as you said, it's been extremely busy since we received funding from News Corp in November of last year. Post that, as you said, we've acquired Makaan.com and Out-of-the-Box Interactive, which is a technology company. And a large part of this year has gone in integrating those 2 companies with PropTiger. And I think we're very happy with what we've achieved. And we're really looking forward to an exciting 2016 when we launch our new product on Makaan.com.
What's the new product going to be all about, Dhruv?
So the new product on Makaan is going to be a marketplace product, very differentiated from a traditional classifieds platform, where the focus would be on the end-to-end consumer journey and also focused on the seller and the seller experience on the marketplace. So very different from what we have today on traditional classifieds platforms.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about that and really how this integration has worked for you in terms of becoming a more end-to-end service provider, because that's clearly the strategy that you're looking at going forward as well.
So at PropTiger, Abha, we were a services provider where we actually helped a consumer consummate a transaction, and that was primarily limited to new properties. With bringing Makaan on board, we've extended our service offering now for the consumer, providing end-to-end services for resale transactions as well. So that's a big shift or an extension. I wouldn't call it a shift, I'll call it more of an extension that we've added on to the platform. In addition to that, with Makaan having come on board, we've also added agent listings on the platform, which again is very different from what PropTiger was, where we primarily had listings from developers. That's been a big shift away from what PropTiger did. But all in all, in terms of the essence of what the combined platform does, it's all about providing the consumer an end-to-end experience during the home buying process. It's not just limited to search and discovery on an online platform, but it goes well beyond that to enabling site visits, help with documentation, help with registration, help with financing, etc. So in that sense, when a consumer would come to our platform, they would have the benefit of an end-to-end experience and not just search and discovery, where they end up finding a home they like, and then the entire conversation with the agent or the developer moves offline, and the platform is not associated with that interaction in any way. We intend to be involved with the consumer through the entire process.
Right. So why is this something that you have stayed away from until now, Dhruv? Is it simply, a case of timing and natural progression, or is this also because of some of the challenges associated with that segment of the market?
I think it's a natural progression, Abha. We as a company believe in doing whatever we do very well, and we focused initially on our core business of doing primary market transactions or new home transactions through our platform. And after that, a point where we had established clear leadership position in that segment, we've decided to extend our offerings to the secondary market and to creating a marketplace. So I believe, like any company, it's important that you build a strong core and then start extending your offerings from that core.
And how do you plan to cope with issues such as, the lack of regulation in the sector, tracking brokers, any kind of filterage? How do you plan to cope with some of these issues which are prevalent in the industry as a whole?
So one of the things, which we've recognized is that you can't paint the industry with one broad brush. There are some very, very good brokers out there, in the market who have the consumer interest at heart. And we believe that we'd like to work with these brokers, give these brokers who actually have an intention to provide good service more, weightage, more prominence on our website, and help the consumer actually find the right agent to get their job done. Regulations, while absent, are on their way in. We believe the regulatory bill will get passed in the next calendar year, and once that happens, platforms like ours will become very, very important, from the point of view of agents who want to be there on the platform, as well as for consumers who are looking to find good brokers. So I believe that fundamentally the industry is not bad. There are some bad apples, as in every industry, and part of our mission is to ensure that people can find out who the good players are and work with them.
All right, absolutely. So, talking about the industry for a moment, let's also take stock of what we've been seeing in terms of inventory, in terms of a bit of sluggishness that we have witnessed overall in the last couple of years. How have platforms like yours withstood that? Have you had an advantage because of possibly, better deals that are available online, or have you also struggled with it like everyone else?
So I think the industry as a whole, which is real estate, has struggled over the past couple of years, and we have been impacted as well. I want to be completely honest about that. But having said that, we as an online player are still a very small fraction of the market. So given where our market shares are, we have considerable headroom to grow, whether the industry is going through a sluggish period or not. So in that sense, we've continued to grow, not at the pace we'd ideally like to have grown, but the opportunity ahead of us is massive. There's also this whole shift which is taking place, in the consumer behavior, where more and more people are starting their home search journey online, and that continues to benefit online digital players or online digital real estate players like us.
You spoke about the opportunity as well, Dhruv, and that's exactly what I want to get a sense of, because the number of players trying to get into this space is a clear indicator of the fact that there's definitely a lot of room on the upside. So give me a sense of the kind of GMVs you're looking at currently, or the kind of growth you've seen, and what is the potential upside or the boost to that going forward, let's say in the next couple of years?
So as we speak, we are selling about close to 450 units every month, which translates into a fairly large GMV at about 60 lakhs of rupees per average value of the home. I think this is in a fairly sluggish market. As we look through 2016, I think these numbers could substantially go up, and with the Makaan product coming on stream, we'll see further tailwind behind these numbers.
Dhruv, as you said, a lot of a lot of customers that are now moving to the online space, and the outlook going forward does continue to be quite interesting, from what you're telling us. What are some of the other changes that the real estate industry is watching out for that you could see benefiting the space? Because we're still looking at slightly sluggish momentum. Do you feel that perhaps that, regulations on account of FDI, for instance, may help to smoothen things? We may see further projects coming off the ground. What really are you anticipating? Help to sort of paint that picture for us.
Sure, Abha. I think one of the big reasons why we see sluggishness, Abha, is there is a clear lack of confidence in the minds of the end user, somebody who actually wants to buy a home to live in. And the reason for that is a lot of the products which were launched in the market in the last few years have been stuck for want of capital with developers. And that has created a sense of distrust that, if they buy something with a finite timeline in mind to move in, that timeline would not be adhered to, and hence their money would get stuck. So I think with the new deregulation in real estate FDI, I think developers will have access to far more capital, and once they're able to deploy that capital and start actually making progress on construction on the ground, I think that will help improve consumer confidence, which will lead to higher sales. That clearly is one thing which I see will benefit the industry over the next 12 months. Though it's not going to be an immediate outcome, because these things take time to unfold on the ground. The second thing is the regulatory bill. I think once that goes through, and given some of the provisions of the bill, such as money being collected from consumers being kept in an escrow and used directly for construction, I think all of those things will again build more consumer confidence that there is actual pressure on the developer to complete the project which they've launched. So I think some of these developments will definitely have a positive impact on the industry as a whole, which of course will benefit the online players and every other market participant in the industry as well.
Okay, as you were talking about trust, Dhruv, human interaction still seems to be fairly important even for online players. As you also mentioned, becoming an end-to-end player, having someone actually go and interact with some of the customers has been, one of the sort of parameters till now. Does that also put increasing cost on the business? Is that a model you see changing? How do you really structure things going ahead?
One of the important things to keep in mind, Abha, for home buying is that at the end of the day, it is a one-time or at most a two-time purchase decision for any family. You're not going to buy a home every month or every year. It's at best once or twice in a family's lifetime. Number two, it's the most expensive purchase decision a family will ever make. So given both these points, and the context is very clear, online is going to be the place where people come in to start their search. That's going to be a place which they use to shorten the time to discover what they want. So for example, doing 10 site visits, they might end up doing 2 or 3 site visits because they manage to do a lot more effective shortlisting online. So online has a very, very important role to play in the entire consumer journey. But once the shortlisting has happened, and of course, after having spent considerably less amount of time in comparison to what happens in a completely offline search and discovery process, then I think the process would move offline. And there I think an interaction with a person is very important, whether it's in terms of scheduling a site visit and doing a showcase of a home, or it's help with registration, or it's help with legal documentation. All these things, I think, provide a lot of comfort to a consumer if there is an offline interaction. So our strong belief as a company is that you need to provide this online to offline experience in a seamless manner to a consumer to ensure that the home buying experience is complete and hassle-free. So I think, for us as a company, you mentioned about costs. I think cost is definitely an issue when it comes to an offline media. But at the end of the day, if you do drive consumer satisfaction, you have more and more customers coming to you, and that helps to build a strong and profitable business in the long run.
So that's just it then, Dhruv. In terms of the revenue model, and as you stack up the cost, I mean, I know you look at parameters like the cost of generating a lead, conversion, employee productivity, and so forth. So as you stack them out, in the long run, is it going to be more of a volume game, or will it also be linked to value? Because, you are at the moment looking at the mid-size market as well. So how critical will the scale-up be for you going forward?
I think scale-up is very important for any online player, and we've been very happy with the progress we've made. We believe that in India, the large consumer base which wants to buy a home today is in the affordable segment, which we are classifying as anywhere between 40 lakhs to about 60 lakhs, and we want to serve that consumer segment. But there, while revenues which you can generate from every transaction is relatively lower than what you could do at properties worth more than 1 crore, etc. There's a huge volume out there. So in that sense, we are very focused on that segment. And going forward, there is going to be demand at the higher ends of the spectrum as well. But I think that demand will take some time to come back, because there has been a huge oversupply there and the demand just doesn't exist. So for the next couple of years, we think that the real demand will come in at the segment I mentioned, between 40 to 60 lakhs. And I think even the supply will have to be tweaked to match up to that demand.
All right. So when we're looking at regions as well, growth expansion plans, and I know you've said before you're not in any hurry, but in terms of opportunity, once again, what's looking good?
I think from an expansion perspective, we are a pan-India player, and we continue to focus on India, because we believe the opportunity is massive and hugely untapped. And frankly, the consumer problem still remains to be unsolved. So our focus at the moment is solidly, on India and growing our business within the country. As far as number of cities is concerned, we are present at today in all the important metros as far as our end-to-end transaction services is concerned. And as far as the listing services go, we are in more than 50 cities on the Makaan platform. So I think the idea is to continue to focus on these cities, drive penetration and increase market share.
A lot of competition, you're not new to competition, Dhruv, but there's still increasing competition with the likes of Quicker, Snapdeal and so forth also getting into this space. Just for our viewers that are watching, what continues, according to you, to set you apart? We've discussed, of course, some of the end-to-end services or model that you're looking at, but even in terms of constantly new initiatives on the tech front, for example, what is exciting and what continues to, you feel, differentiate you from some of the others?
So I think one of the most important points, as you yourself observed, Abha, is this end-to-end service. I think given the fact that it is a very expensive purchase decision, not an impulse buy, I think it's important to provide that end-to-end service. And that's the very reason why I believe that at the end of the day, the successful players in this industry are going to be the specialists who understand real estate very well and who are able to bring to bear not just technology, but strong real estate expertise as well to solve a consumer problem. So we are attacking this from both ends, how to use technology to make the end-to-end process a lot more simpler and hassle-free, and also bringing to bear our real estate understanding, our deep understanding of micro markets within real estate to help the consumer. Which is where I think players who are not just focused on real estate, but have a focus on various other verticals as well, will find it a little bit more challenging. But I think the market is large enough for 3 or 4 key players to emerge as dominant and winners.
Right. As you mentioned, once News Corp came in, that was of course a huge boost in terms of funding. What are you looking at using that for, apart from of course the acquisitions that have already taken place? Can we look forward to a big marketing push? And what have been your experiences as well in interacting with them? How have they added value into the organization?
I think News Corp is a strategic player in the space. They have digital real estate assets across the globe. They own Moving in the US, which runs Realtor.com, and they have a majority stake in REA, which is Australia's leading digital real estate platform. And they also recently announced through REA that they're going to acquire 100% of iProperty, which is a dominant player in Southeast Asia as far as digital real estate goes. So clearly, I think they view India as a very important market, and they've gone on record saying that that they look at this market from a 20-year perspective as far as digital real estate goes. I think from that perspective, there's a lot of learning we have from them, from all the various assets they have globally in this space. Some examples of what we've done with them. They have recently launched a luxury real estate website called Mansion Global, and we are one of 2 players from India who have exclusive rights to put luxury listings on that platform. Similarly, we are the only players from India who have listings on Realtor.com, and we will work closely with other News Corp companies as well to ensure that our listings go on their platform, which essentially opens us up to the large NRI audience abroad who is looking to buy a property in India and are used to dealing with these platforms in their local market. That's one example of how we benefit from News Corp's involvement. And at the end of the day, being a strategic player with a long-term view enables us to focus and put our heads down on building a strong and profitable business over the next several years.
Dhruv, I wanted to close by getting some takeaways from you for some of the young entrepreneurs. How do you deal with the ups and downs? How do you hang in there?
I think it's a great question, Abha. I've been an entrepreneur several times over now, and I think one of the most important things for me in terms of remaining sane over the last 10-15 years of being an entrepreneur is you've got to learn how to manage your emotional volatility. I think when things are going well, there's a huge sense of euphoria, and the next day when things might not be going as well, you really feel down and out. So the ability to manage that is very, very important, and staying focused on doing the right things. A lot of us tend to get distracted by what competition is doing. I think it's important to understand what our vision is, what problem we are solving for the consumer, and put our heads down and just focus on executing towards that vision. I think that's the best way to do it, and that's the best way to succeed in my opinion.
Fantastic. Dhruv, thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure speaking with you today on E-Inc.
Thank you, Abha.
That's all from us this week on E-Inc. Thanks for watching.